Good morning to everyone. We are pleased to welcome you to our fifth edition of Likkle Byte Ideas. And this morning we are joined by some great guests. We hope you had a great week. We want to end the week very strong. And so we are looking to continue our celebration of National Financial Planning Month. And just in case you did not know, we're also embarking next week on International Credit Union Week. So very interesting celebrations ahead. But let's get right to our guests today. And of course, we have our first guest, our CEO, Megan Samuel Fields. Megan, good morning.
Good morning. How are you today, Doreed?
I am doing great, and I trust you're doing well. And it's another week, and we're still celebrating National Financial Planning Month.
It surely is.
Yes. And we're also pleased to welcome our next guest, who is someone I know from way, way back, Jennifer White of the St. John's Cooperative Credit Union. And she's the general manager. Jennifer, welcome to Likkle Byte Ideas.
Yes, thank you. It's a very, very good feeling to be with you in International Credit Union Month. And I'm just excited to share from St. John's, what our views are on finance.
Fantastic. And I grew up with my mother being very involved in credit unions. Before I even knew what credit unions were, she was very involved. So I know that she's listening. So Mom, this one is for you and for teaching us about credit unions. But I want to get started, Megan, with you to just update us as to what's going on with Samuel Fields Consulting, financial planning. Give us an update for this week.
All right. Thank you, Doreed. As you know, this month is Financial Planning Month. So at SFCG, that has been our focus. As you know, there's a challenge out to all of you to start your diary, your budget diary, and let us know your experiences, and we will select a lucky winner. We continue to focus on businesses as well as individuals in assisting them in achieving their financial goals through our Likkle by Likkle financial plans. So that's what we've been doing. As you know, we are in Woods, and it's a good location. So things are going pretty well.
Fantastic. And I forgot to mention that we celebrated National Savings Day on Tuesday, the 12th. And if you follow our Facebook page, we posted a bingo game. And I'm just going to have there we go, National Savings Day. And you know what's good about this bingo game? Everyone wins. It's a lot of activities that you can check off. And of course, you shouldn't just be saving on one day. So go to our Facebook page where you can download our bingo game. And there are lots of activities on there. Check it off. Repost it on our page in the comment section, and let's see how you're doing as far as savings. So we have some other fun activities that we will launch throughout the month, but be sure to go to our Facebook page and let's play some bingo. And this is the bingo game. Like I said, everyone wins because everyone can save. So I want to get right into our discussion this morning because we know lots of you want to hear more about credit unions, and it's Credit Union Month. So let me introduce Jennifer, and I have her bio, and she describes herself as multifaceted. She's motivated, and she's a make it happen woman. We know that, those of us who know her. She attributes firstly her maker, also to the journey, and many, hang on, I just lost it. Let me read this quickly. Okay, she attributes firstly to her maker, also to the journey and the many persons who have mentored her throughout her life, as well as the many roles she's called upon to fulfill across the busy spectrum of her daily life in personal and professional capacities. She is the general manager of the St. John's Cooperative Credit Union, which has two locations, Lower All Saints Road and also Mandolin Place Mall on Friars Hill Road. It can be said that Jennifer's career path has taken her full circle. She acquired her earliest employment training and love for credit unions in her late teens with the cooperative movement in Jamaica, from where she hails. She spent 3 years there. Well, she spent 3 years in the shipping industry in Jamaica as well, followed by 10 years in the hotel and tourism sector, which is where I know Jennifer from, right here in Antigua and Barbuda. Then she went for 2 years in the legal field, and then voila, she ended up 13 years ago at the St. John's Cooperative Credit Union. Full circle indeed. She has made her mark as part of the leadership that progressed St. John's Cooperative Credit Union into achieving the title of a $1 million credit union and a trailblazer in pioneering the very first branch office to be established by a credit union in Antigua and Barbuda. And of course, that happened in January in 2018. Jennifer holds a Bachelor of Science in Management and numerous other certifications, which demonstrates her skill as a leader and a stickler for high standards in everything. Because, as Jennifer often says, if it's worth doing, it's worth doing well. Also, she is guided by the manual for living the best life. That is the scriptures, which teaches us that whatever you do, do well, for when you go to the grave, there will be no work or planning or knowledge or wisdom. Scary place. Jennifer is driven by the desire to fulfill her divine purpose in life while inspiring others within her sphere of influence, especially her two lovely daughters, to do the same, to become and achieve the very best they can be. Jennifer is very passionate about her church community life, as well as her newest adventure, which she launched exactly 1 year ago, during the pandemic, no less, her outdoor cafe. And we can't wait to hear more about this. An advocate for exceptional service, she gets to demonstrate it there on weekends as much as she does during the week. And she has a heart for aspiring entrepreneurs, having long been one herself. So Jennifer, you are in the right place because we love our entrepreneurs, and most of our following and most of our ideas center on your personal goals, your professional goals, starting a business, harnessing these little ideas that we have. And how do we cultivate them? How do we germinate them? How do we make them grow? So Jennifer, tell us about, for those of us who have no clue, and you were just sharing with us the whole genesis of credit unions. Share with us how the credit union movement was born and where you're headed right now.
Right. So, yes, you said we were talking off air, and it always gives me pleasure to let individuals know what makes credit unions strong. It's because of our foundation, right? Our foundation is in crisis. Our foundation is in the midst of change. When all of that is happening, that is when the credit union shines. That's when our principles, that's when the values that we espouse as a credit union movement, that is when we see how very true, we are to our foundation. So way back, as we might have heard in school, when the Industrial Revolution struck the United Kingdom, we've heard about many workers being out of jobs. We heard about an agrarian society that was changed into a mechanized one. So it's just like what happened in our time with the computer and IT revolution. If you remember, we're saying the computers are going to replace people, and that is what happened in the UK, and that is because we're seeing history repeat itself. But what credit unions say is that when that happens, there is always another version of you. You can become the best you can be by pooling your funds together, pooling your ideas together, and making it happen. So back then, when the Industrial Revolution shook the nation and a lot of workers were out of job, didn't have any source of income, families hungry, typically, what's happening now with a lot of people, the father of the credit union movement, Robert Owen, he said, no, I'm not going to let that happen to my people. And he went about developing these principles and said, okay, we're going to pool our funds together. We're going to buy and sell, with a little profit, and all of us will get equally from the surplus. And that is how the credit union movement started. And he spread his idea. The idea went like wildfire right around the world, right until it came to the Caribbean, started in Jamaica and came down the islands. And this is how the movement started. So that is why we say that in the midst of COVID, the credit union way is the best way. And this is where we shine. And this is where we can help persons. And so this is where, in terms of where we're heading, what we have been doing throughout the COVID pandemic is to share with members how we can help you. So if you've been hearing what's been going on, we helped our members for the entire year of 2020 with our moratorium. We did not capitalize the interest. We just allowed our members to get back on their feet. And then we're trying to get back to normal this year. And that is what our credit union will continue to do. We will work with our members, take care of them, help them to save and borrow, save while they repay. It goes on. It started in 1844 and it continues today.
Fantastic. And congratulations to you and your team for, being so supportive of your members. I mean, this is such a difficult time, and that's a very, very noble thing that you guys are doing. But tell us, I'm always interested. I've done some research in other areas about how people respond to crisis, and there's so many. I mean, for example, a lot of the social programs in the United States began when we had the Great Depression, because there was no social network. And so FDR is well known for introducing Social Security, the FDIC. I mean, so many federal programs emerged out of the need to offer some kind of social protection to people. And so I would imagine your story is very, very similar. But I think persons often wonder, when they hear about the credit union, what is the difference between a credit union and a bank? And so I know that for me, I remember working on a proposal years ago and having to do that research and recognizing, wow, this is really a value proposition that credit unions can offer to their members. So tell us, Jennifer, especially in a time like this, what are some of the main differences between banks and credit unions?
So the main difference between a bank and a credit union is our philosophy, okay, or a reason for being. Why do we exist? The banks, they exist, to serve their shareholders, to make money. That's the first thing you learn in business school. What is the shareholders? They buy shares because they want to make money. They want to multiply that. They want to grow faster. They want to acquire assets, and, but all of that money, all of that surplus, all of that profit, where does it go at the end? Into the hands of these one or two shareholders of a bank. Okay, we are customers. We come and go, accept what they offer, and you have no say in that. With a credit union, it's totally different. The credit union exists to serve its members. If a credit union is not providing the services and products that the members need, it's not a credit union, right? A credit union is owned by its members. Each member has shares, and it doesn't matter how many shares you have. You don't have any more say than I do. We all have the same say. One man, one vote, not how many shares you have. So when you go to a credit union, you have a say. When you come and you get the services and you feel that something is not right, I need more services than this, you come to an AGM because we are accountable to you. And you say, guys, we need to introduce this. And when you get everyone to vote with you, the majority goes, right? So a credit union is it meets you where you are. It's a place where everybody can come and have a say. You have your own financial institution, and you get to determine who is at the helm of your credit union. You vote. It's very democratic, right? You vote and you say, you guys go and, ensure that this credit union does what we want it to do, right? And so I don't even get the picture. It's totally different. And most of all, when that surplus is made, because we don't talk about profit, it's surplus for what we put in, and the interest and that you pay back, all of that surplus belongs to the entire group of people who came together and formed that credit union, and it is distributed equitably. So whatever that money does, it benefits everyone. With the other folks, we don't know where that money goes. It doesn't necessarily come back for our benefit, right? I don't know if are you seeing the difference there, Doreen?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I was going to say to you, I also wonder about the service. Tell us how the customer experience is different between a credit union and a bank. I think I already know, but let you tell us.
Yes. So the credit union exists to serve its members, as I said, right? So because of that goal, we can't do as we like, right? Our members own the credit union, and so the kind of service that you're getting is going to be the kind that you're looking for, because you have a say. You say, this is the kind of credit union we want, and that mandate comes to the management of the credit union. And so we have to train the staff, we have to manage them in keeping with that ethos. Whatever was set as the standard for the credit union, we have to deliver that to you, and you don't have to take what we give you. I was saying earlier, we have a member, and we call him the owner. When he comes in, he said, manager, and I said, hi boss. He knows he's an owner, and he comes regularly and tells you, I would like this, and he doesn't miss an AGM, and he walks with his chest high and everybody knows him. I'm not going to call his name, but every staff member in here knows him. And so we empower our members, we empower them, and we ask them, if we're not serving you well, we go back to PAC and see what we need to do. But all the staff, they know the standard is exceptional service, or training speaks to it. And we manage with that in mind. And we hope that our members are happy, and our members, when they're not, they normally tell us. So that's what our service is all about. It's about providing the atmosphere, the products, the smile, everything that our members look forward to when they come, and it keeps them coming back.
Fantastic, fantastic. And I want to let our viewers know, viewers and listeners, we will be taking questions, so you don't have to wait until the end of the presentation. Start to post your questions. We will definitely put them up on the screen. We'd love to know that you're following us. We want to acknowledge you, even if it's just a comment, even if it's just a verbal high five. We want to make sure that we acknowledge you, and thank you for joining us. So Jennifer, another question that I have for you is what I've always been impressed by with credit unions is their community service, their community projects, making sure that a lot of the dividends are reinvested into the community. I'm big on community. I personally feel if you have a business, that should be, your community objectives should be up there, high on your agenda, because it's a community that keeps you afloat, particularly in times like these. So tell us a bit about some of your community initiatives. And I know that there's several credit unions here in Antigua, so I think the culture and the affinity for credit unions is growing, much more so than when I was growing up. So tell us a bit about your community involvement, some of the exciting things that you do.
Okay, so we've done a lot over the years, and there are some keepsakes. There's some we do every year on an ongoing basis, and some, every now and then we say, okay, let's do this. So over the years, we have a Kickstart program that is Kickstart Saving. That's the whole idea. Kickstart the savings principle and lifestyle in our children from in the schools, right? So all the schools that are in our Kickstart program, we support them. They have prize giving, anything that they're having and they need support. So that is a ground zero for us. All the members and the businesses that are affiliated with St. John's, we support them. So all the schools, we, as I said, we have foundation mix as the foundation. Once upon a time, it was just foundation mix. And I don't have the full list of the schools, but I'm telling you, that's where we start. The next thing that we do this month, it's Cancer Awareness Month also. And so we have forged relationships with corporate entities like Mount St. John's and Breast Friends, and, even other corporate entities when they're having walks over the years, because things have been different these last few years. We go on all these walks, all our staff, we put the t-shirt on, and so that is a platform that we really support. We believe in it. We have invested in that over the years. We do newsletters in the office, and Miranda, what is Cancer Awareness Month all about? And so in order to spread our news about credit union movement, we affiliate ourselves with other entities in the society. They might be schools. Like next week, we have the Parent Teachers Association that we are going to be talking with about money management, budgeting, that stuff that Megan does also. So we do that with groups. We've gone to churches, we've gone to other clubs, and we go to companies. We call them We Come to You. I don't know that they want me to call their names on the air, but we've been to many companies during their lunchtime or after work. There's a conference room on area. We've been to many of those, and even during the COVID pandemic, we've done it online with hotels and different entities that know that their staff need the support. So what the credit union does, it comes alongside anyone who needs that support, whether it's a business or whether it's a community group. And there is the last August, when we celebrated our anniversary, you would have heard, I don't know if you heard, but we had it there letting people know that we support our community. So we were down the road at All Saints Road supporting those who need a hot meal during the day. So it is very multifaceted what we do. We always look around to see how we can help our community and our members.
Fantastic. And that is such a great service at this critical time when so many people are suffering. And I mean, it definitely sends a long message with what you're saying as far as the education, but also going beyond that and actually providing support. I mean, sometimes people need just a warm meal. They may have food at home, but they're struggling. And providing that warm meal can go such a long way in someone's life. I see some of your colleagues joining us in the chat. I see a familiar name here, Latoya Dewberry Auguste.
Yes, she's our ops.
Wasn't she one of our winners in the past? I recognize the name.
Yeah.
She's definitely is one of our winners.
Right.
Go, Latoya.
Latoya, we have a voucher, I believe, waiting for you somewhere. I can't remember.
We surely do. It's with me. It's with me.
Yeah, I can't remember precisely what she won, but it was one of our challenges or a drawing or something. And so, good to see her name. I definitely recognized her. Great.
Congrats, she's our operations manager.
Oh, really? Did not realize that.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Oh, nice.
Yes. She's on the front line of that service delivery.
Oh, that is fantastic. That is fantastic.
Good stuff.
Well, keep the questions coming. We're going to shift over from Megan to talk to us a bit about the financial planning side of things and how it all relates to credit unions. But keep your questions coming. We're going to talk a bit more to Jennifer about what the St. John's Cooperative Credit Union is doing and also some of her personal pursuits. We like to look at the totality of our guests. Your professional side, yes, but we also know that your personal side is tied into who you are professionally, your family. So it's been great to really catch up with Jennifer. So Megan, tell us, it is Financial Planning Month. I know you have much more experience than I have with credit unions. And so tell us more from a business perspective. I think when I think of credit unions, I think about my personal savings, my rainy day fund, the deductions that get made to make sure that, I know that I can take that vacation or do the things that I want to do. But tell us, we have lots of people here who have small businesses. They're thinking about some new venture. Tell us from your professional experience how a credit union can help small businesses, help persons who are looking to jump into entrepreneurship. How does a credit union help that process?
All right. So first off, I need to start by saying, Jennifer, there's so many similarities with what you've said and what SFCG is offering. And one of the things you said that really stood out for me, you said, we meet you where you are. And I think that is so important. Absolutely.
Yes.
That is so important because people are at different stages in their lives. You have the well-experienced business person who probably has already created relationships with maybe banks and maybe credit unions as well. But then you have those persons who are just starting out who really they need that helping hand. They're not really clear on what opportunities are there, what's available to them. And what I've been seeing from my experience is that there have been many persons with a great idea, a great business idea, but they may not have the finances to take them to the next step. And from what I've heard you say about credit unions and from the little that I know, it sounds to me that approaching the credit union would be a good step for a lot of these smaller businesses who really need some hand holding. They have the idea, they have the energy, they have the passion, but it just need some financial help. They need that person to sit them down and say, listen, here is what you need to do to save. You need to, as we say, you need to do little by little, save a little by little. And I do believe that credit unions can come in and be that bridge that a lot of the smaller businesses need. And the beauty about what you've said, Jennifer, is that even while they're doing that, they themselves become members of the credit union. So they have a stake in this. So I think we need to talk. I see similarities and all of that, but I really do believe that the credit unions can play a very, very big role in helping these smaller businesses, especially through this crisis that we're in.
Yes.
So, Megan, since you have the floor, is there a bright idea based on our conversation today that you'd like to share?
Oh my gosh, yes. And the idea really did come as I heard Jennifer speak. And I go back to, we'll meet you where you are. And I think I would love to have some kind of collaboration with Jennifer and her team where we have some form of program where we meet these people where they are. It might be a physical going out to the farmer, to the small cafe owner, or whatever. But as you spoke, I saw it. I had the idea, maybe this is a way we can collaborate. And I dare say it doesn't have to be just SFCG and SJCCU. You see how those two names already sound close?
Wow.
Sounds like alphabet soup to me.
But
I hear a lot of
Yeah.
letters. Yeah, let's make alphabet soup.
Maybe that's what we need to do. But I really do think that's what we need. That's what we need.
But you
Some
know
more
what? I just want to
collaboration.
jump in here, Jennifer. One thing that we do really well at SFCG, we love challenges. We have a content calendar every month, a Likkle by Likkle calendar where we tell people this is how you can do, ABC, blah, blah, blah. We would love to collaborate with you and your members on some kind of challenge where they're actually getting some financial education, We're daring them to do something. We're giving them a challenge, an assignment
Yes.
to do something. And of course, we would be here with a financial education, finding creative ways to keep them on track. I know financial education is not exactly the most exciting topic for most people. So what we do at SFCG, we find very creative ways, like our bingo. We have a
Make it
bunch of
fun.
different things that we do, word searches, all types of things, just to keep people engaged and to kind of, just lighten the whole topic for people who we all know we need to do it, but sometimes we just need a different way to come at it. It's like having a child that just won't listen, a child who's hardened. You as a parent, you hit your head against the wall trying to get through to that child, but we know that you have to try alternative ways to communicate to people, even though they know it's good for them. If you can serve it up, it's like serving a vegetable that nobody likes. Like our guest last week talked about okra. She's an amazing chef, but she said she just has not found an interesting way to serve okra. And so that's what we do. We go back and we find lots of different ways to serve our clients the education and the knowledge that they need. But
I love
moving
that.
right along, Jennifer, tell us, how do persons, so hopefully we have some believers here today. How does someone go about joining the credit union? What do they need? What does it take?
Yes. So all you need to join our credit union, that's just four things, right? You need your job letter, because to join the credit union, you have to have a source of income, right? So you have your job letter, you have your 2 photo IDs, and there's this photo ID that lasts forever, almost 10 years, that passport, we need that. So the passport and one other, and then you need your proof of address, because in our sphere, in the financial industry, is a big thing. It's called AML and CFT. It's called anti-money laundering and countering of the financing of terrorism. And because of that, we need to show evidence that you exist, you live here, you're entitled to have an account here. And so that proof of address will tie you to that address. So what we need from you is your bill, or we can use your voter's ID, that front and back. And, we will give you other ideas if you don't have these, if the bill needs to be in your name, because as I said, we're trying to link you to a physical location. So if that bill is in your landlord's name, you're going to need to have a letter saying that, from the landlord signing to say, I know this person, he's my tenant, and she lives here. And we have a form letter you can use to do that. So after you have your proof of address, your 2 photo IDs, your job letter, you're just going to need your 225 cash to open your account. And you can come in on any day. That's a walk-in. That's with the credit union. You can come in at any time to open the account, but because of COVID, what we say to you, call and make an appointment so you don't, waste time. You're standing outside, because we can only have so many in the room at once. So, we like for you to call and make an appointment so we can make it nice and convenient, deliver that exceptional service that we are committed to delivering to you. So that's how you can join the best credit union in the world, St. John's Cooperative Credit Union.
And if Jennifer says it's the best, we say it's the best, okay?
It's the best.
I don't see
It's
any
the
other
best.
credit union on our stage today. If she says it's the best, it's the best. So, Linda, we have a comment from our number one fan, Mistress Miriam Samuel, and I told you that she is the credit union lady. And here is her comment. Credit union is the stepping stone for small businesses. She would know. It has been for me. Do not be afraid to try any one of them. I guess she is endorsing all credit unions. We can go through that.
Yes.
You have choices. Go for it. So this is from a senior citizen who has been around the credit union movement as long as I can remember. She is a small business owner, and I believe our college money might have come from, some
Right?
may have come from the credit union, because she's
Definitely.
always been a big saver and a supporter of credit union. So thank you for that comment, Miriam Samuel. We have other guests on the line. We'd love to hear from you. Send us a virtual high five. Send us a hi, hello, hello, Jennifer. We'd love to acknowledge you, and we love when you join us in our discussion. So, Jennifer, coming back to you as we wind down, first of all, we want to hear from you your bright idea. That's why we brought you here. This is a show about sharing ideas. And so you share ideas. And as I always say before we get to the ideas, people can almost repeat it with me. If I have an idea and you have an idea, that's a great thing. We each have an idea. But it's when we're able to bring these ideas together that the eureka moments, the magical moments happen. So, Jennifer, tell us about your bright idea.
So I think Megan kicked it off. Of course, as a credit unionist, I will tell you the best thing for a crisis is cooperation. So we are always, encouraging people to cooperate, come together and then Mrs. Samuel came in and said, yes, when you want to get into business, credit unions, they are grassroots, and small businesses, they are the grassroots, they are the foundation of our economy. And so that was my idea, that people, we've been seeing it, pop-ups of different businesses, because, you're out of a job. What do you do? Are you going to sit with your hands hanging? So most people, you see business developing, but how about collaborating? And I took it further, to read, because, I have those 10 years in tourism.
Yes.
And I'm saying the whole economy is opening up again. The winter season is coming. And I have an experience in my little thing I do on a Saturday. And I'm telling you, on 2 occasions, I had tourists coming over. And when they experienced it, they said, wow, they told me there was nowhere like this. The tourist wants to experience our culture, our food, everything Antiguan when they come here. So we need to have a place where they can come and experience it. When you've gone to other islands, you see they have this place to tell you have to go here on a Friday. And we know we have Shirley Heights, but we can do more. We need to have, have you been to St. Kitts?
Oh, yeah.
David, what do you remember about that? Do they have this place? What do they call this place there? That
the Strip?
They tell you, the
Strip, yeah.
There you go. We need a strip.
Yeah, we need
in
a strip.
Antigua.
Yeah.
We need that place where when people come this tourism season, they're coming, they know where I'm going on a Friday or Saturday. I'm going down to Antigua Strip. It can be any other name we want, but most of the islands, Barbados, they all have this place, this strip that you go. And so that is my idea. Actually, it's about
fantastic,
all of you coming together. And the concept that I am seeing now, where this was born, you're seeing people from different nationalities, all the different foods are there. Can you imagine tourists coming? Oh, I'm from Trinidad. Oh, I can find Trinidad stuff here. Oh, I want to taste Antigua. No, I want to taste Guyana. We need somewhere where people can, the gastronomy, the people who are Epicurean, the people who, so it's from any aspect. It could be the guest that is very, accustomed to the European taste, so you can have that too. But it could be all Caribbean, or it could be all Antiguan for all I know. But we need food sales.
Yeah,
so
and it's so important to the experience. It's so important to the experience. You ask the average person about a particular destination, invariably they're going to tell you how good or not good the food was.
That's
I remember
right.
once going to Maui in Hawaii, and they have a similar program like you're describing, Jennifer. What they do, depending on the tour guide that you have, they work with different families. And there's a little village, I forget the name, and literally every simple village, like you're driving through Liberta, and a couple of them, they have food trucks in their front yard. So according to the tour operator that you're working with, who's doing your tour, they have their people, and they'll say to you, "You want to try some?" They call it Hawaii. You want to try some Hawaii food?
Yes,
sure. And they pull into a particular yard, of course, that they're working with. It could be their family members,
right?
And they have the little chairs and everything right there. And according to the size of your party, they serve you. Because he called ahead and said, I have 6 people. And we got there. Everything was prepared. We were in and out maybe in about a half hour. And you got that warm hospitality. And of course, it was built in as a part of the tour.
Right.
So,
That
so
is
I
what
say,
they want.
there was no frills.
Mm-hmm.
There was another one we went to another day where we could actually go in their backyard and pick mangoes and
Uh-huh.
actually feel like we were a part of their farm, right?
Yes.
And I said, wow, why don't we have something like this in Antigua, like going down Fig Tree Drive,
Mm-hmm.
where this is how these people live. They want to
Yes.
understand how we live. And
Right.
so you're on to something, Jennifer. Best of luck to
I
you
love
with
it.
that. If you're looking for creative ideas, you know where to come.
Yes, yes. So you come to the credit
Well,
union, you talk with us. I'm interested in doing this. I just need a little startup, and we say, oh, you want to do a pop-up, you want to do something in your community. We can help you. We'll guide you. Because overhead expenses. Megan will talk about that. You want to keep that minimal when you're starting up. So you come to your local credit union to start your own little business, and that is going to be the foundation of the economy as
That
we start to
absolutely,
rebuild.
absolutely.
And then
Do
the
you have
tourists will want
financial
to come and
advisors?
experience it.
Do you have financial advisors on hand for to
We
guide for people with? Is that a service you offer? I wouldn't imagine that it's free, but is that a service that you offer to your folks for people who
free
it's free? Okay,
advice.
great,
Our loans
oh,
officers are
wow.
trained to provide that advice when you come in. And any big,
Lovely.
we say to our members, if you're going to make a big purchase, you're making a big decision of a financial investment, it is important to come in and talk with us, because we'll give you pointers. We'll probably show you things that you never thought of. And it's
fantastic.
very important to bounce your idea off someone. And we are confidential. We just want the best for our members. You come and talk with us, and we'll help you to make the right financial decisions.
Okay, we have another
Awesome
comment
idea.
from Nicholas Fields, and it says, "Credit union finances, my go-to option for acquiring my first car. The
Uh-huh.
staff were friendly and exceptionally helpful. I highly recommend credit union services for your financial needs."
Yes.
Nice.
So
We
that's another endorsement.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nice.
Yes, our members, all the important achievements or acquisitions they've made, a lot of them will give you that testimony that the credit union helped. They talk about the educating their children. They tell you their first loan was to get their car and then to get their home, because we take you through the different stages of life. We start you in school, we take you through university, you save and you prepare, you come out and you can buy your vehicle, you can get your home. We finance all of that. And then when you have your family, we're still here. Let the credit union take you right through all your life changes,
Wow.
everything you want to do. The credit union is right here to help.
Fantastic. No, this is such a great conversation to be having during
Lovely.
Financial Planning Month. It's certainly something that I think people need to be more focused on,
Mhm.
especially during a crisis where there's so much uncertainty, there's so much stress, there's so
Mm.
much, there's so much disruption
Anxiety. Mhm.
that, having a friend in the credit union is certainly always a good thing. But at a time like this, when, we're all trying to battle this crisis, what
Mhm.
better ally to have than an organization or a movement that was born out of crisis? I see we have another comment, and Norma is saying, "I have tried the credit union and I'm satisfied. What are you offering additionally during the COVID season? For example, interest rates, etc." Norma, she talked a bit about it. Jennifer mentioned earlier that they have a few initiatives, but I'll give her another opportunity to answer your question. And keep the questions coming, folks.
Mhm.
So she wanted to
Cotton.
know, Jennifer, what particular offerings or specials are you offering to folks during COVID?
Well, during COVID, what has happened, as I said earlier, is especially our borrowers, because they're the ones who are the most filled with anxiety. Their income probably cut off altogether or reduced. And so we introduce a moratorium, and we give them an opportunity to, to manage the crisis without having the loan payment, hanging over their heads, and when they're ready, when, they come in and we discuss with them that we can restructure the loan, or we can do all sorts of stuff just to make it easier for you during this challenging time. Or interest rate, what we can say about that, that it didn't change. credit unions, when we had no income coming from our loans for that whole year,
Oh,
right?
wow.
For those people who are on moratorium, right? And that's in millions. So the fact that we kept our service up, we kept our interest rate, we kept going for our members. So that is a big thing. Our interest rate is the best. We are our offerings compared to the banks and stuff, very competitive.
Mhm.
And so interest rate, that's a winner. We have the club accounts. Have some accounts called FlexiBox, and you can plan your bit. You can plan to say get your home next year. You can plan for retirement. We have a box for every single concern or financial goal that you have in life. So the interest rate on those accounts are the best, right? They're better than a regular savings account. Hint, hint, right? So I'm giving you a little pointer. When you come to St. John, say, I want to open a box account. I just don't want to become a member, open an account. You open the box account, you can save for your mortgage, you can save for retirement, you can save for your insurance, you can save for Christmas. We have a box for everything. And the interest rate on the box, once you save steadily for that year minimum, you will get a better interest rate on that account.
It's
So does
interesting.
that help, Norma?
I hope that helps. It's so interesting. Megan, did you notice how Jennifer says box?
Box.
At first when
Yes.
she said box, I didn't quite get it. I said, oh, Sue. But I think in Antigua, we kind of put the emphasis on box. It's kind of different.
Yes.
Yes.
When you
Or
said
you might
box, it
say
sounded
box
so
money.
sophisticated. But then I caught myself, so she talked about box.
Yes. Yes.
She said,
Same
she
thing.
But he said box.
Do you know that is also in our history as credit union, as a credit union movement? The box
Oh, wow.
is the oldest form of credit union.
Oh, wow.
Right? Yes, the box. You
If
throw,
you
you
think about it,
collaborate.
yeah.
Yes,
You're
you
all members.
collaborate. That's where we're
Yeah.
coming from.
Oh,
When
wow.
people came together
Yeah.
and put the money together, and I get the draw this
Yes.
week, and you will get it next month, and that is
Right.
how. That's the same. It's the same principle.
Partner draw.
Yeah, partner draw. Different names in different countries.
Yep.
So partner, box, yes, all different names, but it's the same principle.
Fantastic.
Save together, and the same principle Megan had. Work together. She have to, organize a session when all these people who want to start a business. My idea that both can merge, come together, talk
Absolutely.
about it. This is what you do. This is what you don't do, and you can have budding entrepreneurs all over, and our economy starts showing up again as money starts to circulate. And that's a credit union thing too. Back in the day, the credit union came out of a time when people used to barter. Right. So after slavery and all that happened, then we were now left on our own, left to fend for ourselves. For those who went into apprenticeship, if you remember your history, the credit union principle rose. People helped each other to build houses. You had potatoes for sale. I came and I gave you my yams, and you gave me potatoes. You exchange. There's this thing with the credit union spirit. It's deep in our roots. Coming out of Africa. And when the slaves are brought here and left on their own, when slavery was abolished, they knew what to do. They came together, right? And so that also is a part of the history of that is why it works in the Caribbean, the credit union movement, because it's deep in us, right? And that is why Miss Samuel said, yes, she has proven it. So
community spirit. That's what it's all about.
Yes, that is what it is.
Particularly as you battle a crisis. It's all about the community spirit.
Coming together, cooperate.
Yep. Well, this has been another fantastic session. Megan, do you have any? I'll give both you and Jennifer some time to give us your parting words.
Okay. So I just want to say to those persons who are listening, who've been following us, just to remind you that this month is Financial Planning Month, and we're here to assist, we're here to guide, and we have thrown out a challenge. We love challenges. And so keep your budget diaries going, keep your journal as to how you spend your money, and let us know the experience. You'll be surprised once you meticulously write what you spend. You'll see your patterns, and then you can make decisions. And to Jennifer, I am so impressed with what the credit union is doing. I feel excited about what I'm hearing. I know we will collaborate. I love your idea. I mean, I'm seeing it already in my mind, the area where it's going to be. So let's keep the ideas flowing. I'm sure there are others who are listening who might want to join. But let's see
Yes.
how this can happen. And it will benefit us all as a community.
Yes, it will benefit everyone. And thank you, Megan. I do see that. Yes, I'm so excited too about, I'm a lady of ideas, and I love to see things happen. And we love to see our members and our community, our people, who are struggling. And, you have a talent, you have a gift. There's this thing that you always think of you'd like to do. This is the time to do it. Don't worry about COVID. This is the time to get creative and become who you'd like to be. So join us as a credit union movement. Come and become a member. Join in the spirit and the philosophy of credit unionism. Cooperation has been around for many years. This is the 75th year that we're going to be celebrating International Credit Union Day. Some do it for the week, some do it for the month. And, 391 million people choose credit unions for their financial services because we are homegrown, we are close to you, we ain't going nowhere, we've been around forever, and we have the right people, the right products, because we exist to serve you and your needs. If we're not serving you, then we're not existing, right? If you don't do business with a credit union, your credit union will die. And that is why also we encourage our members, those of you who have loans and you're having difficulties, come in. We have a delinquency marathon that we're running. There's a campaign, where we want to talk with you if you're having difficulty, because we need you. When you are delinquent with your loan, it means you're losing money. And it means that your credit union is not as strong as it can be. So let us work together. Megan, let us work with you. Members existing, come and talk to your credit union, ensure you're using the services here, right? Because we are here for you now and in the future.
Fantastic. Miriam Samuel is back, and she's saying that she's been a member of the credit union since the 70s. I told you, for as long as I can remember. Before, that credit union, the teachers' credit union, remember that? Do they still have it?
Yes.
The teachers'
Yes,
credit
they
union
do.
around?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, it's now Community First, which is
Yes,
another
it
one.
was a closed bond. Yes. Back in the day, it was teachers when the bond was closed, and now they're
Right.
open. But when when we started, we were always open bond.
Always open,
So
right.
our name still exists as St. John's Cooperative Credit. It's a really beautiful thing, the credit union movement in Antigua, how we've evolved and how we've all grown to serve the members, because people more and more are choosing. They're hearing that what we're offering is just what they need. And so that is why, yes, since the 70s, it's been a while that we're all here. We started in 1982, so we're going to be 40 next year.
Oh,
But
that's a ripe old age.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes,
40.
yes.
Life begins at 40.
Yeah, life
There
begins.
you go.
There you
Some
go.
of my best ideas came after those years.
Yeah.
Right, Megan? Yes.
That is fantastic. So, folks, I think we've come to the end of another fantastic session where I have to say I've learned so much today about credit unions, the impact that you're having, the prospects for the future, and so many reasons why people should join a credit union. And what better time to celebrate the credit union movement than during Financial Planning Month, during the crisis, when we all really have to look at life differently and come up with alternative solutions to continue to live and to continue to work towards financial wellness. So I want to thank all of our viewers today for joining us. Megan, who do we have next week? Megan, who's our guest next week?
I'm sorry. Our guest next week is going to be Colin John Jenkins. I'm sorry, I have some background noise. Hold on.
Okay, so Colin John Jenkins, and is that the architect / comedian? Is that who Colin John Jenkins is?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I'm really sorry. I have some background noise. But yes, we do have Colin John Jenkins next week. and
Yep.
he is. You gotta check.
I know him
You
from
gotta come
social
next
media.
week.
Don't know him personally, but he's a brilliant mind. Very entertaining. Obviously, a very bright guy. So that'll be different. It won't be squarely in financial wellness, but I'm sure he'll bring lots of great ideas as well that we can all learn something from. So listen, we know everyone's busy on Fridays. We thank you for joining us. We hope we gave you some inspiration to take into the weekend. And we all hopefully are more empowered in embarking on our financial journey, a journey to wellness, which encapsulates all aspects of our lives. Thank you for joining us. Jennifer, how can people, do you want to just share your contact information?
Definitely. You can find St. John's Cooperative Credit Union at Lower All Saints Road, opposite the former health center, or Little Bargain Center, as we say.
Oh, okay.
And we are also on Fries Hill Road, and that's in Mandolin Place. That is one of the newest malls, right? So you can find us there. You can call us at 480-1300. You can find us on Facebook by our name. You can find us on our website is sjccu.com. And we have lots of information on our Facebook page. You can check it out, find anything you want to know about us. You can also find on our website, and call us at any time. That number will get you to either the head office, which is in the city on All Saints Road, or the branch. That number 480-1300.
Okay, great. And guys, we will be posting our YouTube link very shortly on our Facebook page, that you can share it with your friends, families, associates, persons who may have missed today's show. And we invite you to go to our Facebook page at Samuel Fields Consulting, as well as our YouTube channel, where you can always see a rebroadcast of all of our shows that we put on every week. So checking out from our virtual stage, and another successful edition of Likkle Byte Ideas. Thank you so much for joining me. See you next week at 10:30
Bye, everybody.
for another edition. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. See ya.
Okay.